What up, people? It's Nickopz here, and today I'm going to be talking about, in my opinion, still the most underrated character in this game, Kung Lao. I cannot understand why people are not playing this character more, not talking about this character more, and not using this character more. I have my assumptions, and we'll get to that in the middle of the video. But the first thing I want to say, this is really funny because if you are an OG to the channel, you know back in the MK11 days, I was one of the biggest advocates that LAO was not good in that game, even though there were people that thought he was. And all of those people, what I have to tell y'all to this day is y'all were all freaking wrong. All the people that tried to clown me because I thought LAO was bad in 11, you all look stupid now because the life cycle of that game has ended, and you can go fact check it. LAO is the most buffed character in that game's history. So, yeah, I'm just going to take my W on that one. And now let's talk about him in this game. I feel like he's underrated in this game. Heavily. I've already made a video on it, but I still think he's underrated, even with the newest changes, and I still think he's going to be underrated with the new patch that comes out with all the new characters. Now, why is LAO not more popular in my opinion? I have a couple of reasons. Again, I'm making that statement again because I know there's going to be somebody to the comments that runs and assumes what I'm going to say. So I'm saying it for the second time. I'm going to talk about why I think he's not more popular in the middle of the video. So, LAO is a character that has a lot of, I don't want to say P-brain tools, but LAO is for a certain type of player. I don't want to offend nobody, but we know the type of people that play LAO. Like the very aggressive, don't really care about anything in the neutral, going in, spamming stuff. Just LAO has a certain way he is meant to be played. You know, it's very Omni-Man like, very, derp. He just is. And I'm not trying to offend anybody when I say this, but I'm going to keep it real. But really, LAO has all the makings of a top tier character, and he's easily in this game bare minimum top 10. Like, and that's bare minimum. I think he's better than that. And I don't understand why people aren't giving this character more credit. So let me go over all the things that he really has. He has well, what do y'all think I'm gonna start with? What do y'all think I'm gonna start with? This right here. This right here is one of the best armor moves in the game because it is safe on 99% of the cast, 95% of the cast. This is safe. It's an armored move. And let me go ahead and bring up the frame data right here so you can see. -7. So in case you aren't aware of frame data, when something is punishable, which means they do something and you can press a button and they can't block, -7 is usually like the bare minimum for safe. If something is -8 and -9, -10, and you keep going, then it's unsafe heavily. But -7 is usually safe on most of the cast. There's a few characters that can punish it, being himself, which he has a 6 frame normal. We're going to talk about that too. He can punish his own thing that most of the cast can't punish. Lucane can punish it. And I think there's one more, but that might be it. So again, LAO has this crazy armor move right here. And the team I'm talking about necessarily is Movado. I feel like this team is very underrated because I do think this is a top tier team, like a heavily top tier team that isn't used enough. So Movado gives him so many options. The first thing is armor move. If it hits, you get Movado. If it don't hit, you don't get Movado. That means you are saving your bar most of the time to do other things. He also gets very good meterless damage with Movado because he can up launch you into this kick right here and then call Movado, where he usually wouldn't get any damage without the right assist. He gets damage with Movado. And another thing I want to talk about really quick to Kung Lao players, Kung Lao players, I find a lot of them, they'll end their combo with this right here. I don't think you should be ending your combo with that unless you're in the corner, because you lose a lot of Oki. I feel like if you get the opening with Kung Lao, it's good to end it like this, so you can stay close to them and pressure them. That's just something I wanted to mention real quick. But you do lose a little damage. Not only does Movado give him that, you see this overhead right here that is minus 19, so be careful when you use it. He also gets an easy combo with Movado off the overhead. And if he wants to keep it safe, he just does the overhead into that. And you have a full overhead launcher for a bar. And actually, let me make sure I get a decent combo off of that. Just something like that. Pretty sure you can optimize it more, but you get a safe overhead launcher with Movado. And again, he doesn't come out if you don't get hit, so you don't even have to hit confirm that. So again, I'm talking about what makes Kung Lao and Movado good. This is the team I really believe in. So you're gonna hear me discussing Kung Lao and Movado in like together with this video, like they're a package deal with this video. Because I think this team is very underrated. And with Movado, he also gets a grab combo. Now, Kung Lao gets a grab combo with like very few members of the cast, like Janet, but the one with Janet is very hard. This one is easy. You do that, and then you do your normal launcher. So we got grab combos. We get combo extensions off of this. We got the extensions off of the overhead. Heck, this might as well be a guide at this point. And the really good thing about him that a lot of players don't really understand how to use is he has an auto shimmy. So what that means is when Kung Lao is in your face, let me set him the block right here. You have to guess whether he's going to mid you, whether he's going to grab you, or whether he's going to do this string right here. You have no way to guess all three of those perfectly. You have to guess. So with this string right here, when he's in your face, he can grab you, and then if you try to tech, he can open you up with this string right here, which is a real auto shimmy, which means this is real. And if he sees this hit, he can get damage off of it very easily because he can spin the bar himself because he's good on his own too. And if he doesn't want to spin the bar, you do that right there, which is a little less damage, but that for no meter is really good. So on top of that, Movado gives him this move right here. Now, Kung Lao's projectiles are okay, but they're not like too great. So having access to this move right here that drags you in and resets neutral is really good for Lao. And he could do it with his pressure strings too, because this right here, that's +3, that's +1. You can essentially make every hit of the auto shimmy string plus. So that's plus, and that's plus. So he can just end up pressuring you like crazy. And I do think that's a very good thing for him because he's a character that has one, I will say Lao has one glaring weakness, and he does not have a good neutral check. He doesn't really need it because he ignores neutral, but if this string right here like had a follow-up to where like he smacked you on the head or something with the second hit and then launched you on the last hit, this character would be undeniable. But that is his one weakness. That isn't really a big deal. He does not have a good hit confirmable neutral check, but he just doesn't. And that's okay because he has so many ways to get around that. And he just really has so much in his kit. I don't understand why this character, well, I do a little bit. Like I said, we're going to talk about that actually now. I feel like this character, while having all these tools, I feel like he isn't that popular. First because of the stigma. A lot of people, you know, if you play Lao, you're viewed as trash by most people. Honestly, you just are, because the character benefits a certain playstyle. He does. That's how he was designed. He was meant to do crazy stuff and just not care. So that could be one of the reasons. And that the second reason ties in with that. I feel like more players have like evolved and gotten better, and a real natural good player, like a naturally good player, they're not gonna want to play LAO because LAO benefits from playing like an idiot. He just does. I always keep it real on my channel. I'm not trying to hurt LAO players' feelings. You know, there might be a LAO player out there that don't play like an idiot, but you know, the exception ain't the rule. If you're running into a LAO for the most part, you know what you're gonna get. And that's how he's designed, so you can't really say nothing about it. They wanted him to be played like this. So yeah, that kind of ties into what I'm saying. Like, I feel like as more people gotten better, the people that like to do good things in their gameplay, you're not going to be able to, you know, just play a solid, good game plan, like a play, you know, basic fighting game fundamentals well with LAO. That's not what he's meant to do. So he's not going to attract most really good players. But I do still think that, you know, if he was good enough, like if he was undeniable, debatable top 1 or 2, people would ignore that. But I feel like he's debatable around like the 5, 10 area. So that's why I feel like he isn't more popular, because how he has to play to be good. Because in my opinion, that could be the only reason for how good he is. He is amazing. And you never really hear people saying this character is bad at all. They just don't talk about him. He's just left out of conversations. So again, more on the tools and the damage he gets. Now, if I drop this, you know, I don't even really play this character like that, so don't judge me too harshly. Because again, you know, this character is not for everybody. Again, let me just pause right here while I'm talking about it. He's not for everybody. If you want to play LAO, you have to play him like an idiot for him to shine, and I'm not with that. Like, he just gets really good damage. You just do something like that, and then he's getting crazy damage off of this, and this is like his punish string right here. So he has damage. It's right here again. So I don't even think that's optimal. That's just kind of showing what he could do with Movado if like he's really ready. And he also just has, what's the word? The access to this trap right here. Now this is the weakest thing about the kit, because this doesn't really do much for him, but gives him the grab, but he still has it. You know, the really good thing is this right here for him in pressure, and the combos that he gets off of this one. So again, LAO pretty much has everything you need. Oh, and 50-50s. This is a real 50-50. You have, if he does this mid, you have to get his mid low, you have to get his mid overhead, and not only that, he also has a fuzzy guard breaker. So that means he can just pressure you with the overhead, or this, or sweep. So he has 3 different ways to open you up consistently. He has the mid overhead, the mid low. That's one way. All right. And then he has the auto shimmy game with the grab, this right here, and the mid check. That's another way. No, the whole other way he has to open you up is the checking you with the sweep, the overhead, and the fuzzy guard breaker, which nobody uses. And in case you don't know what that means, what a fuzzy guard breaker is, if they try to react to your 50-50s, like if they know, okay, the low's faster, so I'm gonna block low first and block overhead, high lows break fuzzy guards. I feel like that's something a lot of people don't talk about enough. High lows are insane in Mortal Kombat, and they're just not mentioned enough. And he also, it's a 6-frame normal, so he can punish his own armor, which most of the cast can. Character's just so complete. He's so complete. He just doesn't have one tool that isn't really a big deal, because why play neutral with LAO when you just ignore it? This dive kick, look, I'm full screen. One whiff, you're in their face. You're in their face. Now that one I did it purposely fast, but if you delay it just a bit, you're in their face. Even if you do it really fast, they're an armor guessing range. This character is just great, and he might fall under that Raiden category, because I just made a video talking about Raiden. Not sure which one I'm gonna post first, where I feel like Raiden, he was kind of the awkward one in the metas because yes, he fit the Cyrax meta very well, but all the other metas after that, he didn't really fit. He had his own meta with Kano. Thing about LAO is I feel like he's really meta with obviously Goro, and but Goro is just really expensive to use, so a lot of people don't like him. So with Kung Lao, your options are Movado, Goro, and Sonya. I think he's meta with all of those picks because Sonya, don't really need to show off Goro because, you know, if you've been playing this game at all, you've seen Lao Goro. But Sonya is one that's not talked about as well because it also gives him a lot. He can get setups off of, like, I don't know the combo specifically, I mean, but he can set you up with like Sonya and get a knockdown into the ring and combo you. Yeah, it's like that. Like he can end his combos a certain way and combo you. Now I've never done them before, so let's see if I can get like one right here. Yeah, see he can combo you, so he gets like 50-50s if he ends combos with Sonya called out. I'm assuming it's just anything off the overhead. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's what it's looking like. You end the combos with that overhead, you call the Sonya ring, then you throw in an overhead or low after. Boom, gets. Also, he gets the same combos off of it. Same launchers with Sonya. And now with the Sonya overhead that they gave to him, he can actually kind of have a real mid. Because he can do this into the overhead or make you take this into low every time. But you can fuzzy that, but guess what? Fuzzy guard breaker. So, again, I feel like he's just such an underrated character. Also has the double overhead now with the Sonya buff. Can hit you with. And this mid that was very unsafe before to do, he can call it into Sonya. In case you don't know, Sonya is completely safe on block. Go ahead and set him the block here. Yeah, plus action. So it actually helps him out way more than, you know, I initially thought. Because, hold up. Yeah, how much they've been buffing Sonya as of late? I must have forgot. That's really good. That fixes one of his weaknesses. Because he doesn't really have a way to mid-check you in combo. But this gives him a way. That's really good. It's really, really good, actually. So he loses the grab combo with Sonya, but Sonya gives him 14% grabs that leave you relatively close. See, like right there. So Sonya is just really good on him. Sonya, Movado, Goro, LAO is chilling in this meta. He really is. And he might be going under the radar also because he doesn't really fit into the stereotypical meta. You know, he ain't doing that much with Pharaoh. He's not doing that much with Chameleon, but the characters he can rock, he is really good with them. So, again, I just wanted to give my take on LAO because I feel like he is criminally underrated in this meta. All the metas, honestly. He's been a very good character since this game has launched. And he's just not talked about that much. But yep, I hope you all enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And Nickopz out.